Just having one of those ugly days, you know? Just bear with me, guys.
Your hair looks great.
I'm tired.
It's casual.
Breaking out.
No, I'll edit that out.
I'm on menopause. Twitter still does not have an edit tweet button. And yet, they have the audacity to announce a paid tier that, you guessed it, still doesn't allow you to make changes to your tweets.
Come on!
Riley, that's because it's philosophical, not technical. Instead, you'll have to pay $3 a month for a set of features called Twitter Blue. But unlike the discount airline, you won't even get free snacks. Instead, you'll be able to save favorite tweets in collections to find them easily later. Oh boy. Almost like Google. And you'll also get access to an undo tweet feature, which differs from deleting an existing tweet in that you'll have time to cancel a tweet before it goes live, kind of like undo send in Gmail. Actually useful. Apparently Twitter is thinking of making Blue part of a multi-tiered scheme that may even include more features at a higher price tag. So maybe we'll finally get an edit button in exchange for an extra mortgage payment.
Where's the tweet while you're waiting for it to go live?
It's under the wings of the tweet bird. No, that's gonna be enough. You don't need to edit.
I guess so. Yeah,
Because you know what you do? You write it, you tweet, then you read it for the first time. Then you're like, as long as they give you enough time. You know how we've had those bulky 24-pin connectors on our motherboard since what seems like time immemorial? Well, if Intel gets their way, those might be disappearing in the near future.
No!
Team Blue reportedly wants motherboard manufacturers to switch to a new power standard called ATX12VO in time for the launch of their upcoming Alder Lake desktop CPUs. The new standard would make all power delivery from the PSU 12 volts, with the motherboard itself stepping down the voltage for lower power devices.
That's complicated.
It's simpler. Simplifying power delivery in this way also means that motherboards would use a 10-pin connector instead of the usual 24, which could be a huge relief to PC builders everywhere. You know, a small.
It's a small connect.
Assuming anyone will be able to afford building a PC once Intel's new chips hit the market. Chia mining, you know, even storage is expensive now, crazy. So you know those annoying CAPTCHA puzzles you often find yourself trying to solve in order to gain access to a website? It turns out Cloudflare doesn't like them either. In an official blog post, they pointed out that every day, we collectively as humans waste 500 years solving these stupid things and trying to figure out if that blurry thing in the photo is a train or a stop sign or not. Or if it's part of a train, but does that count? Do the rails count? Cloudflare says they have a better way. A new scheme where devices would have secure chips embedded into them to complete authentication for you. Such a device won't even need a separate hardware key either, though the new system does support those as well. No word yet as to when the system might be widespread, but I hope it'll be soon, as I really don't want my computer knowing how good I am or not at recognizing traffic lights. I'm better than a Tesla, am I?
This guy's too good at recognizing.
Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by the Drop PC38X gaming headset in collaboration with Sennheiser. Same open back design from the PC37X, but with added enhancements, retuning drivers for higher fidelity and better frequency response. And that's the only response that matters, baby. The driver impedance is now at 28 ohms for using with gaming controllers or other low power devices, and there's a new knit mesh headband offering less heat retention and better comfort overall, I'd say. Buy it today at the link below. Buy it. Quick Bits, ever heard of them? We've done that one a million times. Computer parts aren't the only thing experiencing price hikes right now, as TVs are also becoming more expensive. And if we're talking about the larger models used to anchor living rooms, they cost around 30% more than they did this time last year.
You don't anchor them and they float away.
What is it? What am I even talking about? Anchor living rooms? As you might have guessed, the chip shortage is to blame, especially as many TVs use older chips made in facilities that just can't speed up production. So it might be a good time to entertain yourself by using a ball in a cup.
Oh, or sticking a wheel. Sticking a hoop.
Yeah, that'll hoop. What is that? If you were lucky enough to get your hands on an Xbox Series X or S, to the victor goes the spoils, as it looks like Dolby Vision is now rolling out to Xbox Insiders. Although the feature isn't quite ready for primetime general release just yet, it will be nice to have an HDR mode that auto-adjusts the picture settings for you, provided your display supports it. And if it does, I don't have an answer for you as to why TechLinked isn't in glorious Dolby Vision yet.
Wait, is it not? It could be.
Hello? Having a hard time keeping up with the different streaming services and what they offer? The landscape is about to change again, as it looks like AT&T is very close to combining their content library with Discovery in order to rival Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime Video. Discovery already offers a service called Discovery Plus, featuring content from a handful of popular channels, and AT&T actually owns HBO and Warner Brothers, which it's spinning off, so a combined service could be a real heavy hitter, just like these gigantic plush CPU pillows from LTTstore.com. Did we do those in these videos? What? We do, what?
Well, I guess, why not?
All right. The death of the iPhone notch may be drawing closer, as a new report claims that the new iPhone lineup due out later this year will have a reduced notch. That doesn't mean no notch, thanks to a smaller Face ID chip. The shrunken piece of silicon is already in iPads currently for sale, so it looks like this is a pretty good bit of intel. Not intel, yeah. Hopefully this is another sign of a notch-free future, a place where many of us are living if we just don't have iPhones. Or, hey, I'm a time traveler. And China has a presence on Mars for the first time as a spacecraft containing a rover touched this weekend, down on the planet of Red. English, do you speak it? With the feat, China becomes only the third country to successfully land on Mars, after the United States and Soviet Union did it in the 1970s. The Chinese rover will be exploring the red planet at the same time as an American rover that's already there, so hopefully the mission won't turn out into an episode of BattleBots, because the wedge-shaped ones always win.
Simple.
And we don't know if Mars has those ramps built into the floor yet.
It's the wedge meta.
We'll see. That's our show today. Come back on Wednesday where we won't have fighting robots, but we will have a host who's most likely a robot.
Oh.
If this is a simulation, we're robots. Take that, Dogecoin.